All right, the Calgary Flames are creeping closer and closer to the start of their season. And it is like there have been a few things where it's like, okay, hey, maybe this guy will, you know what? No, not really. That's not gonna. Okay, well, maybe it's this guy. Okay, no, not the way to go. And now the one thing that has surprised me is some of the talk around Jakob Pelletier, where it's like, all right, well, can you waive him? Can you whatever? It's like, well, he's not having a great preseason. And this is where the preseason can get so very frustrating, because the thought of waiving Jakob Pelletier, I don't think should even enter the Calgary Flames' minds. I think that would be just the height of overreaction to some stuff with him. And so to possibly lose him on waivers, I can't. I don't think the Flames should either. And so yes, like, no, the preseason has not gone well for him. But I do still think that this is a kid who has a real upside and can play a style of hockey that can benefit your team for a really long time. He does need to start showing it at the NHL level. And he does need to start proving it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. But he has also had injuries really hinder his career. And it is a very difficult spot, because if there was no waivers, you would just send him back to the American Hockey League so fast and let him start to work some of these things through. But you can't with him, or else someone will claim him. And I don't think there is any debate someone would claim him. When you look at the resume and the pedigree and all of those things, I don't think from a Calgary Flames standpoint you can afford to risk losing this kid on waivers. Like, this is, if another team, if the Vancouver Canucks version of Jakob Pelletier popped up on waivers, every Flames chat everywhere would be saying, this is the type of guy the Flames should be going after. First round pick, didn't get his opportunities because he was banged up, and a couple of other guys kind of leapfrogged him, but now we have a shot to give him a little bit of room. And we've talked before about how kind of jammed up the forward group is with the Flames, and so you do have to kind of maneuver his way in. But I think this is one that you have to maneuver. We've talked about Coronado. I don't think you have to pass him through waivers. I'm pretty sure on that. So I think more seasoning for him, fine. For Pelletier, I do think that there is a middle six forward there. If he has to start the year on the fourth line, then he starts the year on the fourth line. I would rather that than lose him. So some of those conversations have been really surprising. On the Cooley one, I do think that everyone gets a little bit like, oh man, how could you might lose this. He's a goalie. He's on waivers. If you did, I think it would be okay. I know we've talked a bit before about, like, we love the personality. He shut down the Oilers, and an Oilers fan chimed in on the, that might have been on the Game Over YouTube channel, where someone came in the comment section and talked about him. But either way, like, the thought of losing Jakob Pelletier is whatever. But Cooley, I would be, I don't think I'd be too heartbroken. I think you can pass him on waivers, and I think it'd be fine. We did this with Yanni Ortio a few years ago. I think it'll be okay. And if it's not, all due respect to Cooley, there's going to be another version of Cooley that pops up on the waiver wire at some point, or an undrafted free agent, or whatever. That there is going to be that. You can find another version of that. So I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it. But yeah, very excited that we are getting closer and closer to the start of the NHL season.